Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and this is the Lacebright Designs Studio. So I have talked in the past about being undiagnosed ADHD, and while there's nothing wrong with that, it has been an incredible challenge to maneuver through neurodivergency as a creative and small business owner being self-employed. And I have been missing the structure of working for somebody else or being in school, something that has a routine and a schedule. And I've had people ask me in the past if I would do a video about being neurospicy and doing this. So I'm not entirely sure if this is what people were looking for, but I thought it would be fun to do a little experiment and find a couple of productivity hacks that are a little bit ADHD either focused or friendly to see if any of them worked for keeping me on task. So join me over the next 3 weeks where I chose a different hack every week to test out, and I will share my pros and cons for each one. So let's get right into week 1. Good morning. So I'm on the very first day of the very first week, I guess, of trying out different productivity hacks for ADHD brains. I'm also scrungly because it's been quite a morning, but that's not what we're here for. So I did not even research really, but like I stumbled across a couple of different hacks that I wanted to try, different like helpful things for keeping me productive and on track, because I've had a lot of issue with that in the last couple of years. So the first one I'm trying out actually comes from the sponsor of this week's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is a platform where members can access a huge library of classes taught by amazing creatives and entrepreneurs, spanning categories like art and design, illustration, branding, and so much more. As a longtime member of Skillshare, I personally have taken classes for Procreate, social media, branding, and even productivity. If you're interested in checking out this or any of the other incredible classes for yourself, I'm happy to share that the first 500 people to use the link in the description or scan the QR code will receive a 1-month free trial of Skillshare plus 20% off your first year. So you can get started on your learning journey today. So the class that I want to recommend this week is going to be Personal Productivity, 5 Exercises to Make Your Big Goal a Reality by 𝐃𝐨𝐧'𝐭. And I actually already went through the whole thing and completed all 5 of the worksheets, or started them, I guess. This one wasn't quite the ADHD hack that I was looking for to like keep me on track immediately, but it is something that I do plan to utilize in big picture mode. So the whole purpose of this class is you do kind of an audit on yourself and your creativity and your resources, as she calls them. And of course, I've already been doing audits, which we already know if you've been watching a lot of my October videos, but it's just to kind of figure out like your strengths and your weaknesses, and then kind of going over like troubleshooting and working through ideas that you have. It basically gives you a breakdown, and this is what mine looks like. You can pause if you want to like read and snoop, but it gives a breakdown of like what you need to do by the end of the month, what you need to do by the end of the week, and what you plan to do every single day. And this is not something that I plan to finish by the time you guys see this video, but at least this week it's going to be starting simple. So it's not really helping me plan everything for the week, but it's helping me plug in things that I need to be doing every day this week to reach this goal, which is nice. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring today's video. So I straight up forgot to mention that while I was also keeping my tasks logged in my physical planner every single week, every single day, this first week I also was working on a time blocking method to go along with the big task thing. So I found out that on Google Chrome, you can do now a split tab view, and this has been something that's been great so that I can have my Notion pulled up with all of my YouTube stuff that I can see every single day, and know what I'm working on, as well as my calendar, and I can toggle between my calendar and my tasks, which is where I store my spooky stickers orders. But the Google Calendar was great where I could time block out and see just kind of like an idea of what I was doing every day. And my pro for this was that it's nice to have my day mapped out pretty well. Even though I didn't exactly follow the time blocks from minute to minute, it was still just really nice to have the day kind of planned out and what I was going to be doing at what time generally, even though there were some days that I had to kind of move stuff around. But that leads me into the cons, where it felt a little too rigid at times, especially when unexpected things would come up and I had to completely move the schedule around. That being said, I feel like this is something I could see myself incorporating into days where I have a lot going on and I can get an idea of what the actual full day is going to look like instead of just a list on the page. Good afternoon, guys. So we're doing week 2 of my ADHD hacks, trying stuff out, seeing what sticks. This week I'm doing something a little different, I guess. It's a little bit of a combination of a few things, and I'm basically going to be using these colorful sticky notes, probably these 3 because I like the shape, but I'm going to each day I'm going to decide which of these colors is the urgent color, and I'm going to write my task for the day that's the most urgent, or the tasks, plural, that are most urgent, and write them on the designated urgent color. And then the other ones will go on a less urgent color, and I'm going to stick them over here on the side of my little shelf thing. So, and then when I'm done with them, instead of like ticking them off, I'll rip them off. I don't know if this is going to really be any different or more motivational than just making a literal written checklist of my tasks, because usually the dopamine hit of ticking something off will be equatable to taking the sticky note off. I don't know if I'm making any sense, but I thought this was something that's similar enough to what I already do that kind of works but isn't working as well as it should, and just to kind of see how it goes. So my pros for week 2, using the sticky notes, it was really helpful to see my most important tasks every day to be highlighted in like a different color. It helped me have more urgency towards those tasks. And even if I didn't do everything in order, like it wasn't like my time blocking where everything the way it was listed out had to be done in that order, it still was nice to see like, okay, those are the things that have to get done today. Like they're the most important thing that I'm working on today. I would say the con for this one was that I really liked this concept, and even though like I kept the sticky notes in a different area than what I'm used to looking at for my to-do list, it felt like it was wasteful to be using multiple sticky notes every single day. So I think the way I would like to adapt this into my day-to-day is using a highlighter to highlight the things that are the most important, because then I'm not wasting my sticky notes on every single day tasks. Good morning, guys, and it is week 3. Sorry if I sound a little congested. I'm still getting over this cold. It's been a nightmare. So I have my coffee. We are getting ready to start. This is probably the hack that I've been looking forward to the most, and that is the list. I saw this in the wild on TikTok, and it was created by the Swap Mom, and I will link her link down below where you can go to purchase it. But this is like the most ultimate like ADHD hack ever, and I'm really excited to see if it works for me. So basically you are gamifying your to-do list. She has made 3 sections here where you do 2 smaller items on your to-do list and then a bigger item, and once you tick off those 3, you get a power up and you get to scratch in 2 of these squares down here. And same goes for here, same goes for here. And so every section you take off all of the to-do lists, you scratch in 2 of these bars. And then the final bar to complete the whole day is if you make your list for the next day. So I'm a little bit skeptical if this is actually gonna work for me long term. I think this is another thing that might come in clutch when I have like a lot of big things to do that I'm scared to do and I just wanna get it over with. But I think it's gonna be fun. I think it's going to make me look forward to taking stuff off. Not that I don't already, it's just, I'm just trying to figure out something that's gonna work. So let's try this out this week. I was honestly looking forward to this one the most, and it was really seeing this TikTok that inspired the entire video, because I was like, wait, I remember this idea that somebody gave me. I'm gonna use this in that. So I was looking forward to this. I wanted to save it for last because I thought it would be the most interesting for people to see. And my pro for this was that it was so much fun to do. It just as I thought. It made me really excited to get through my tasks for the day so that I can tick everything off the list and fill in the power bar at the bottom. And the con is literally just a me problem, but I feel like I like to multitask or jump around. I mean, like I had mentioned before, like I don't have to necessarily do the things in that order. Or like on my time blocking method, I could move stuff around physically and if I wanted to do something in a different order. So having this list in this sort of order, I played dungeon type games or like boss fight type games. Like you have to go in the order that you have to go in to get to the bosses. So I felt like I had to do these things in order. So it felt a little rigid in that way. That is literally just the me problem. Like you could definitely jump around on this if you wanted to. I did. It just felt like, oh, I'm doing something wrong. But there were also days, I mean, this was Con Crunch week, so it wasn't exactly an issue but there were days that I worried that I didn't have enough unique tasks to fill out everything on the list to get to the whole bar being filled. So I thought, well, I could always fill in like personal chores that I had to do or something, but that felt like I was crossing a line of bleeding business and personal, which I'm trying to keep boundaries of. So again, those were all me problems this week. So take that with as you will. So that was a really fun exercise. I honestly felt a little discouraged because I thought I was gonna find a whole plethora of different ADHD productivity hacks just out there. And maybe I wasn't using the right keywords when I was searching, but let me know in the comments down below if you guys have any that you've used or that you've seen and would love to try out, because I'm always open to like trying different things. I feel like this was an interesting exercise because I definitely had a takeaway in a positive light from every single one that I did. And I think I'm going to adapt those into hopefully a more, not rigid, but structured day-to-day, because sometimes it's so easy to slack off when you're your own boss. And especially as we get into the colder winter months, I just want to bundle up on the couch and be cozy and watch something on TV. And I don't want to be in my office where it's cold and doing work. So I think having ways to gamify or have something to look forward to, or at least be able to visually see like what's urgent, that is going to help a lot. So hopefully this was something that was interesting and helpful for you guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and everything that I had mentioned is linked down below in the description box. So with that, I will leave you guys to your weekend, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye!